My name is Bruce Wildsmith, and I was a Voyageur director in 1967. What we want to talk about is the historic trip that we took as a group from the YMCA Big Cove location, ultimately to the Holland YMCA camp that was run by Charlottetown, and then into Charlottetown. So we all have some recollections about that event.
The highlight of that trip was when we paddled along the shore. There was a change of tide, and I believe the tide was coming out and the tide was sweeping in around, so it was a change of tide. At that point there was a huge whirlpool, and there was logs going around the top of that whirlpool like I've never seen in my life. And I can just remember all of us standing back in the canoes just in awe of the power of that whirlpool.
It was an incredible trip.
One of the things we did then, which was probably unthinkable today, is we decided to go across Charlottetown Harbor to an island in the middle of it called Governor. Eventually, as Peter remembers it, Governor's Island was a bit of a swamp and it wasn't suitable to camp. So we continued on to Holland Cove, which was on the opposite side of the harbor. So in essence, we went across 14 miles of open water.
I remember going by a navigation buoy in the middle of the harbor, and we went by it, and we were doing about 6 knots, and we were barely paddling. And it wasn't until then we realized how strong the tide was. One of my favorite memories of that trip was sleeping on the dock where the ferry, and waking up in the morning, and what woke me up was the ferry was docking. I didn't realize, and it was moving the whole pier, so it was a shaking of the dock, and then waking up to bright sunshine and hearing the horn. And then we carried all our canoes onto the ferry, and that was great fun in its own right. We thought we were pretty special.
We were the first people to go on the ferry.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was very calm, and we were totally fogged in, and so we could not see anything. Couldn't see shore. And so we gathered the canoes together, and we held on to the canoes, and Bruce had a compass, and so we talked about it, and then said, okay, we'll go, and we stayed within sight of each other and proceeded, and the fog eventually dissipated, and we got where we were going. When we were coming into Charlottetown Harbor, it was just dusk, it was just becoming dark, and the tide was sweeping us in there, and I tell you, we felt pretty big, at least I did. These 22, 24 campers in these canoes, and we'd done something special. We knew it, and we felt pretty chuffed.
And carrying the canoes over to a sandy spot, putting our canoes in the water and starting to paddle along the coast of Prince Edward Island. And just, the beauty of the cliffs. It was relatively calm, if I remember correctly, and the beauty of the red clay. Very few trees as we paddled our way into Charlottetown.
And we pulled all the canoes together so that we were like a raft, not knowing what was exactly where we were going or whatever, just to stabilize ourselves. And then all of a sudden, all these seals, all the heads started to pop out of the water all around our rafted canoes, and it was a little bit scary not knowing what those big animals were going to do, but I guess they were just curious and they left us alone.
As 14-year-olds, Mick, I guess we were at the time, it was a pretty exciting trip.
And eventually, the Charlottetown Guardian reporters heard about what we had done and came along, and I believe there was a piece published in the Charlottetown Guardian on our exploits.
Going home and telling my parents we paddled at Prince Edward Island, and they just couldn't believe what we had done.